Three, two, one. Hello, it's Coach Charlie with Attack Basketball Academy. There are many youth teams that play zone defense often. It's even in the NBA now. At the youth level, I get it. It could be a great defensive strategy, but many times players seem lost because they don't know who they're guarding and what they're guarding. So what I want to do today is clear up any confusion and help you understand to develop into a great defender while playing zone defense. So today, in this video, I'm going to show you how to play a 2-3 zone defense in basketball. Let's go. In this video, I'm going to share with you the secret to being a dominant zone defender. Then, I'm going to show you the key to playing lights out zone defense. This simple tip frustrates and confuses the offense every time. Last, I'm going to show you how to communicate while playing in a zone defense. Let's get right into the secret of being a dominant zone defender. You must know your area of responsibility. I've made that an acronym to simply stand for AOR. If I'm coaching you in the game, we're going to discuss our AOR strategies. That's it. See, you must learn to master your area of responsibilities. That's why I said earlier, it's not only who you're guarding, why you get confused in a zone defense, it's what you're guarding. And in a zone, you typically have an area of responsibility. Let me show you. So let's say I'm the player in the middle in a 2-3 zone. Okay, 2-3 zone, kind of shorten this up for you. You may have a player, we call this a guard, right? A guard may be guarding, say, the elbow area. This is the left elbow. There may be a guard on the right elbow. Let's also explain why we may be playing a zone defense. One, let me just keep it real with you. A lot of times you're playing zone defense because you may not be a really good defensive team man-to-man. I'm going to just keep it real with you. We could call it all day what it is about, hey, we want to see if this team can shoot over us, right? We want to make them make shots. I totally get that. It's all good. My take, you may not be a good defensive team man-to-man. And it's easy to put people in position to play an area of responsibility so you don't have to worry about getting beat on ball or guarding the ball off the ball, as there may be distractions. People may not be as focused. Now, let me give you the politically correct reason why you may be playing zone. Well, you want the team to outshoot you. Can they shoot over you? Can you contest their shots? Now, instead of moving on ball, off ball, following somebody, you're just guarding an area. That's why I said again, not only who you're guarding, but what you're guarding. So in a 2-3 zone situation, here it is. I'm going to be at the left elbow if I'm a guard, right, or whatever you want to call this at this position. And at the right elbow over here, there's somebody else. Then you're going to have a person in the middle. I call this the person, the air traffic controller, right? They need to understand how to communicate because they can see kind of all angles and aspects. You're going to have what you call two forwards. And the forwards will be guarding the block area, right? A 2-3 zone also can look like a 2-1-2, right? You rarely see teams play a 2-3 where you're flat. Okay, there's 3 players kind of flat, forward on the block area, center in the middle, forward. Very rarely you'll see a flat because the ball's constantly moving, trying to get into the seams or the gaps. It typically comes out to be like a 2-1-2. You have 2 guards, 2 people on the perimeter, 1 person in the middle, and 2 then behind you playing the forward area, right? Trying to take away anything in the back area. So when we talk about the AOR, the area of responsibility, I want to go over all 5 spots shortly, in a short, concise manner. In the middle, again, you are the air traffic controller. You need to understand when that ball, let's say again, use your imagination, the ball goes below the left elbow. When the ball goes below, there's a good chance the person that's here on the block would have to go out. You need to cover that area. This is now covering what? You're covering the block area because the forward now is out almost playing man-to-man principles. And if we're doing a good job, everyone has shifted over. Because the number one thing is, again, to make them shoot over us and to make it very difficult for them to penetrate in the gaps and seams, to give them good looks, right? When the ball goes back up, I go back home, simply speaking, right? Ball goes here to my right, below the elbow, do the same thing, right? Very active, right? Trying to guard the middle. Let's talk about the forward positions. Ball gets passed below the elbow, anything below it, that's my area of responsibility. I now need to go out and play man-to-man principles. I need to guard the ball to make it tough for them to drive, penetrate by me. Don't give up the baseline. Don't give up the midline going to the middle. I need to push them to my help. Again, if I'm out, we talked about it, we should have the person in the middle shifting over. Right? We want them to create long skips so we can recover to that. Same thing over here. The ball goes below the elbow. That now becomes my responsibility. What we don't want is the player here going below the elbow. All of a sudden, our zone is off. And this is what I see a lot. This is why I say we get confused playing zones, because we don't know what to guard. And then all of a sudden, where we should be, how we recover. Okay? Very simple. Ball goes below the elbow. That's my area of responsibility. I come up, we should have the person in the middle come down, shift. Ball goes to the corner, I go to the corner, they shift over. That's simple, okay? Anything that's above the elbow, that's my responsibility. That's on the left side of the court, right? Anything on this side is my responsibility. I go as far as the free throw line. Right? We call that the nail on the court. I go as far as. The only time I might leave this area to go over that nail is if my teammate that's on the right elbow area perimeter got beat. Right? Where my principles, I need to let go, I need to help as much as I can. Right? But it's just a shifting thing. Okay? Here it is, same concept. Anything above the free throw line, above the elbow, this is my area of responsibility. Right? I'm hoping that simplified how you play a 2-3 zone. And again, while you play it, the not so nice answer, your coach may be afraid of you all getting beat. Right? And I can argue with anybody on this, and I say this in love. A lot of teams that play zone, they want you to win from the outside. That's true, right? But they are probably attached to the team may not be as good moving their feet on the ball and off the ball. Not saying that's wrong, it's a strategy. But a lot of times when you don't understand, it's still man-to-man principles. You have to still understand the person you're guarding and then have an area of responsibility so you can put all that together. Before I show you the key to playing lights out zone defense, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel. I'm putting out videos daily to help develop you into a premium basketball player. Don't miss out on the content. Click the subscribe button. Now I'm going to show you the key to playing lights out zone defense. You must be alert. We discussed earlier having an area of responsibility. Not only it's about who you're guarding when they have the basketball or they're cutting, it's what you're guarding. It's the area. And you have to have a high alertness when doing so. You have to be focused. You have to make sure that you keep offensive players in front of you and not let them get behind you. And when they do get behind you, you have to communicate. So, showing you. Let's talk about, again, putting this together. Here is a cutter. I am playing on the left elbow area, right, as a perimeter player. I need to keep this player in front of me, and I need to pass them through. Okay, they don't have the ball, but I need to pass them through to my other teammates that can help me. And we want to guide and ride them out to weak sides. Put them in the area of weakness as we are taking care of our area of responsibility. Okay? So as I guide and ride them out, I've done my job. I go no further than I said before. The nail, now it's my teammates' responsibility to make sure they do the same thing. Make them guide and ride out to the weak side. What I don't want is for me not to pay attention. All of a sudden they got behind me, Because the name of the game of attacking zones is you want to get into the gaps. You want to get to areas where defense are not at. All of a sudden now, I'm out of integrity. There's no communication. I didn't pay attention. My alertness was low. Right? We're now scrambling. We're almost now in man-to-man principles. Okay? So I want to keep everybody in front of me. I want to chuck, meaning touch, no cutters untouched. I want to chuck them, communicate, hey, team, check it out. Somebody's coming through. I want to communicate some kind of way. I'm playing the block area as a forward. I don't want them going behind me. I'm going to back up. I keep them in front of me. I can deny them. They go to the middle. Now it's my teammates in the middle responsibility. I want to, again, guide and ride them out. Push them to the weak side. Keep them in front of me. Wherever I'm at, that's going to be the simplicity of what I'm sharing with you, to be consistent and play lights out zone defense. Keep people in front of me, understand my area responsibility, and when I do have them go behind me, I got to make sure I pass them through to guide and ride out to the weak sides. Now that you know how to get in the zone and own your area of responsibility on zone defenses, I want you to comment with AOR to let me know you're all in on playing lights out dominant zone defense. Now I'm going to show you how to communicate while playing lights out zone defense. I went to it before. Now, getting a little passionate, getting involved. Here it is, use your imagination. The basketball goes below the elbow. The ball now is in the corner. As I close out, hey, ball. I'm being active, right? Number one thing again, I want this player to shoot over me so I can easily box out. Now I'm in a man-to-man principle situation, right? But I don't want to give up the gaps, right? As I'm communicating, no gap, no turns, right? Basketball gets passed, right? Hey, balls up. Communication, keeping it simple. Right? Again, my outside hand, my forearm, they're trying to cut. I want to guide and ride them out. I want to keep them in front of me, not giving up straight line cuts. I want to be attached to them. So then when I pass them through guide and ride, now it's my teammates in the middle responsibility to make sure we do the same thing. Ball now, let's say, is at the left perimeter area wing. That player that actually had the ball in the corner had to pass it and cut to the opposite side. I've done my job because I communicated. And a lot of times communication on defense distracts play movement on offense. I'll say that again. A lot of times great communication on defense distracts play movement on offense. That's why it pays to pay attention to communicate. Okay? Right? So now I'm in the middle. In the middle on the air traffic controller. I can kind of see it all. Right? Hey, play on the left wing, right? Play on the left wing. Hey, get out there. Boom, I got to come up a little bit to help. Make sure anybody cutting from the weak side, I chuck. Put my forearm on. No cutters untouched, right? Boom. I made sure they passed through. I kept them in front of me. Now here it is. It's my forward responsibility to make sure they go to the weak side. Guide and ride them out, right? I'm the air traffic controller. I can see it all. I'm in the middle. I got viewpoints up. I got viewpoints down, right? I got viewpoints. No one gets behind me. Okay? Check it out. Again, it's universal. I'm just on the other side of the court. Ball goes below the elbow. Right? Hey, close out. Ball. No gap. Anything I take in, we call that a funnel. Anything I take away, we call it a fan. I want to vacuum them in to drive, to help, to kick out. Right? I want to push them, fan them to the baseline where my teammate becomes the baseline. I want them going to a place in space where it's a low percentage pass opportunity and a scoring opportunity. Hence, that's how you communicate. Keep the defender in front of you. Know your area of responsibility, your ARR. Know what you're guarding, where you're guarding, and who you're guarding. You got to play man-to-man type principles when they have the ball, even when they pass it, until you move them on to the next area of responsibility for your teammates. But it's a guide and ride out life and mentality you want to have to play lights out zone defense. Now, it makes more sense to want to play zone Because if teams shoot very low percentages from the three-point line and jump shot mid-range, it makes no sense to go out there. You just work them to freaking death. You make them shoot bad shots they don't practice. Now you have easy, fast break and quick strike opportunities on offense. Now that you know how to play lights out 2-3 zone defense in basketball, how would you like to have a guide that covers all the must-know basketball principles and in what situation to apply them? Well, you are in luck. If you click on the link in the description of this video below, you can download the guide I put together as my gift to you. Enjoy it. Learn to play lights out zone defense. Understand your area of responsibility, your AR. Understand your AOR, and keep attacking.